Red Bull are expected to do something insane, and it'll be a move that probably nobody expected a couple of weeks ago. As we all know, Red Bull had talks with Porsche throughout most of the season. These talks were focused on a branded partnership, possibly to join forces together on the engine. Unfortunately, this deal fell through as Porsche wanted more power than Red Bull was willing to give away, which of course was a big letdown for the Red Bull team, as sponsorships are a big deal in F1. F1 is an expensive sport. Before the budget cap, the three big teams were known to spend over $400 million a season. This has changed due to the budget cap. Now they can only spend $135 million over the 2023 season. This has made it possible for Red Bull to in fact make a profit on F1. And having Porsche on board to pay a big chunk of that would have certainly helped them. But now, suddenly, there have been huge changes, and it looks like Red Bull have gotten themselves a new partner for the future. And it's a big one. Sit tight as we'll fill you in on the latest news. Red Bull Racing is quickly becoming the first Formula One team to be wholly funded by sponsorship. The Austrian team has already attracted 34 sponsors, and commercial director Nick Stocker thinks that the team is nearly there. The Jaguar team was dissolved at the conclusion of the 2004 season. The Formula One team had to be terminated as parent corporation Ford, remember this name, observed that the squad was unable to produce excellent results. Red Bull purchased the racing team, and the squad has been prominent on the grid since 2005. The energy drink company is the team's leading advocate, although in recent years a slew of businesses has joined up with the Austrian club. It means that Red Bull Racing will be able to survive fully by sponsorship money in the not-too-distant future, Stocker said in an interview with Sports Business Journal. Meanwhile, Red Bull has paired the team with 34 sponsors. Stocker attributes this to heightened interest in the team. A few years ago, the team could only count on 15 licensing partners, but that number has already risen to roughly 40. It results in a lot of brand stickers on the car, but it also generates the required income. Oracle's name has been on Red Bull's car since the beginning of the 2022 season, and the business has also been a title sponsor. According to reports, the party has agreed to pay $100 million every year for the next 5 years. Stocker believes the contract to be the best commercial success in the company's history, admitting that the team also shattered its own records in the process. Christian Horner's ambition is reported to be to become the first team to be able to survive totally on sponsorship money, and they are almost there, according to Stocker. And to help this process, they found a new partner, one that might shock several people on the grid, and it certainly is a big one. So, in New York, Red Bull Racing may already be unveiling its new engine partner for 2026. According to Sky Sports Deutschland, the CEO of the new partner will attend the car unveiling. Red Bull Racing will unveil their new RB19 to the world today on February 3rd. The new car for Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez will have a fresh livery, but will have the Red Bull powertrain for the time being. That engine is still an original Honda engine, but that might change in 2026. Red Bull's objective is to create its own engine in Milton Keynes when new engine restrictions are implemented in 2026. It is nevertheless on the lookout for a technical partner. Honda and Porsche were previously linked to the squad, but it appears that another company is collaborating with Red Bull. Of course, a connection to the rumors of American Ford is rapidly forming. In any event, according to the German press, we won't have to wait long because, in addition to the RB19, Red Bull's future image will be shown in New York. According to sources, the CEO of the new engine partner, together with Christian Horner and Adrian Newey, will be present for the unveiling. So who will be the new mystery partner? Well, its name has been said a couple of times already during the video, and you probably would have guessed it by now. The new big Red Bull partner will be Ford. Following Porsche's unsuccessful discussions with the F1 champions, Red Bull and Ford are now likely to announce a new partnership. According to reports, Red Bull and manufacturer Ford are planning to merge. This follows the announcement last year that Audi would join the grid alongside Sauber in 2026, as well as the more recent news that Ford's competitor General Motors is also interested in a slot alongside Andretti Global. Ford entering F1 would bolster the championship's already strong position, with manufacturer interest continuing to climb. The collaboration would also be the American manufacturer's first entry into the sport since 2004. Ford powered Jaguar in the campaign, which ultimately became Red Bull a year later. Red Bull will unveil their 2023 title-defending RB19 today on February 3rd in New York, and sources suggest that Ford may send social media influencers to the event, fueling speculation about an impending announcement. At this point, it is uncertain if Ford would participate as a power unit supplier, or, as Porsche had anticipated, as a 50-50 partner with Red Bull. The chief of Ford's performance division, Mark Rushbrook, said, "Formula One is certainly strong and growing, both in the United States and globally. What they've done well is create great racing and great competition. It's still the pinnacle, but they've been able to reach new audiences with things like Drive to Survive. As a company, we go racing for innovation, tech transfer, the learning opportunity, but also for marketing reasons as well. It's shifted for sure, and it definitely requires consideration. Since joining the F1 grid in 2005, Red Bull has used powertrains from 4 different manufacturers. Beginning with Cosworth, the team moved to Ferrari in 2006, before embarking on a fruitful 9-year partnership with Renault, which resulted in 4 driver and 4 constructor world titles. The most recent change occurred in 2019, when the company began working with Honda. Although the modern powertrains are labeled as Red Bull powertrains, they are still manufactured by the Japanese company. This adjustment was made following Honda's announced withdrawal from Formula One at the end of 2021. Following the Volkswagen Group's approval for Porsche and Audi to investigate F1 opportunities, the former commenced discussions with Red Bull. Although Audi has secured its 2026 seat with Sauber, Porsche failed in discussions with Red Bull, with team head Christian Horner claiming in October that a team's capacity to make quick-fire decisions would have been impeded by layers of bureaucracy. Up until now, Ford have been hesitant to comment if the rumors are true. Mark Rushbrook stated to the media that Ford is planning a drive into Formula One in the future. However, its global director refused to comment on the potential collaboration with Red Bull Racing. Red Bull has been looking for a deal with an engine supplier since Honda's departure. To that end, it negotiated with Porsche, among others, but they fell through. Ford is still an option, though. Talks between the two sides are said to be advanced, and an agreement is in the works. However, Ford have declined to comment. The partnership would begin as soon as the next season. According to Rushbrook, Ford is seriously contemplating entering Formula One. "We don't comment on rumors," he responded to the situation. "But it's the same as with all the other championships out there. It's up to us to look at it and then make a decision whether or not it's wise for us to participate in a particular class. It's looking likely that this partnership will happen. But what kind of deal could we expect? Could we see Ford as an engine partner for Red Bull?" Since last year, Red Bull Racing has been hard at work developing its own power unit. The Austrian team now employs Honda engines, which are formerly known as Red Bull powertrains. Red Bull intends to manufacture the power unit wholly in-house beginning in 2026. With that, it appears that Ford will not produce full engines for Red Bull. Ford is more likely to handle a minor portion of the development. It's also feasible that Ford will become a Red Bull sponsor, like how Alfa Romeo is now at Sauber. So how about it? Did you expect this one? And are you excited to see Ford getting back into F1? It'll be like the good old Ford versus Ferrari days. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you in the next video.